Boy bought a painting for $2 but couldn't believe when he heard how much it was worth. When the young antique fan heard about the show filming in Richmond, Virginia, he begged his parents to take him there. He thought maybe he could get $100 or so for the painting he'd recently bought for just $2. However, the boy was in for a big surprise. The price of the painting would leave him dumbfounded and speechless. Every child has a hobby, and so did this young boy. His passion was to collect rare art and sell them online. His hobby had almost made him an expert and also the biggest fan of the Antiques Roadshow, which started in the United Kingdom in 1979. So when he came to know that the show was being filmed in Virginia, the boy began to pester his parents to take him to the show. He had recently bought a painting for $2 and wanted to know the value of it so that he could sell it at the right price. The popular appraiser David Weiss was truly surprised and proud to see such a young man on the show. Before jumping right to the painting, Weiss wanted to know more about the child and his interest in art. He opened the interview by telling the boy, "You must be the youngest collector that I've seen." With a smile plastered on his face, the boy responded, "I think so." Weiss was impressed with the young boy's poise and articulation. It was a lifetime opportunity for the young collector, and the appraiser could easily see the excitement on the boy's face. The appraiser learned that this was not his first purchase. The young man had been collecting items for a very long time. Pressing on with the interview, he asked what the boy's favorite items to collect were. He replied, "I like glass, sterling silver and art." Weiss was curious and therefore kept asking questions to the boy. He learned that the young guy collected all these items from a junk auction in South Jersey. David thought that the collector would keep these artistic items, but actually, the boy sells them online. The appraiser could hardly believe that such a youngster had an instinct for the purchase and sale of antiques. After all, kids have been known to hold on to many more mundane items that they assigned sentimental value. Weiss was even more impressed when he learned that the boy would wait for the right time to sell these items to gain maximum profit. Finally, they began to talk about the painting. One day, the kid dragged his father on a hot summer's day to the junkie auction house in town, begging him to wait until he had a chance to bid on the piece of art. It was so hot that his father just wanted to go home and have a drink, but the boy wanted to stay until he got what he wanted. His eyes fell on the painting, which he bought for $2, and his instinct told him that there was some history behind this painting. Weiss was left stunned when he heard the buying price of the art, as he knew that the painting was way more valuable. It was hard for him to tell just where it could have come from, which is what prompted him to go to Antiques Roadshow in the first place. The appraiser was lost for words as to how easily this kid was able to purchase the painting in question. Although the painting was simply looking, David knew better which signs were important to assess to determine its worth. The canvas was filled with mundane earth tones, which was enough for the appraiser to know that this painting had come from an important point in history. However, this was just scratching the surface. It wasn't the colors but the story the painting was depicting. The subject of the piece itself was a mother sitting in a chair, reaching towards a child, while the child was also sitting in a chair, intent on her mother. It made both Weiss and the kid emotional, but the young boy missed one crucial clue that made the art valuable. The painting was watercolor, and the appraiser pointed out a signature at the bottom of the painting. The piece was painted by Albert Newes, and the name is very important to put a price on the painting. Works by the likes of Picasso and Ali are going to sell for a lot more money than a random artist, although Albert Newes was no random artist. The painter was from the Netherlands, and his painting always depicted life at home, particularly mother and children. Newes was moved by the country lifestyle in an increasingly industrial country, which he began to paint with enthusiasm. After sharing his knowledge about the painter, Weiss asked the boy about the worth of the painting. He replied $150, which is a decent price for a 19th century painting. While he had given an educated guess, He was way off the mark and was about to hear something way beyond his wildest dreams. Today, if your Albert Newey's watercolor came to an auction, it would probably sell for about $1,000 to $1,500. As the word "thousand" slipped out of Vice's mouth, the boy's eyes widened in astonishment. The only word that came from the kid's mouth was "whoa, that's a lot of money." For anyone, paying $2 for a painting worth that much is practically a steal, but Weiss had a bit more wisdom for the boy. "So I think you've got a great career going as an art dealer. You should keep at it." It was the cherry on top for the delighted dealer in training.